In this video, I'm going to break down the best defense in Madden 24 that you need to be using right now. This defense allows you to play lockdown coverage, get instant A-gap pressure on the quarterback, but also still stop the run and stop RPOs. Let's get into it now. YouTube, what is up? It is your boy Duke, back here from sportsgamers.com. And recently, you have probably seen me running the nickel over defense. This defense has been dominant for me. It's very, very good. Gets great pressure, and a lot of people don't know how to play against it because not too many people use this defense. Most people are still running, the dollar, the 4-3 even. But the nickel over is tough. So I'm going to show you guys my coaching adjustments, my subs, my abilities, and then the main setup that I use to lock down everything. So, first of all, this is going to be out of any playbook with nickel over. I normally run KC because KC does give me, a lot of different other formations that I can run as well. It's a really good overall playbook. Now, the thing about this formation is you're going to want to use the strong safety linebacker swap package, right? Because this is going to give you different assignments. You can put your safeties in mostly. And you can see when you flick the right analog stick to go to this package, it does a lot of subs, and I don't want this. So what I do is I basically sub in and out my D-line, my linebackers, and then also my strong safety before I put the package on. Because once you put the package on and you sub these players, basically you sub your starters out and then you put them back in, right? That way when you go to the package, you can see everything is going to be the same. Now, the next thing you need to know before I get into setups is coaching and adjustments. It's actually extremely important. So the way I do this is very unique. So this blitz really only works when you flip the formation, so I need auto flip off. The thing about that is if you leave auto flip off on the follower base alignment, you're always going to have the nickel corner when you flip the formation on the right side of the screen. So if they have a bunch of trips to the left, you're going to be having problems with your alignment because if the nickel corner is opposite the strong side of the offensive formation, you're in trouble. So what you want to do is actually, with auto flip off, turn man alignment, because this will always allow you to flip the formation for the blitz to work, but still, even though you're always flipping it, because you have man alignment on, the nickel corner will travel to the strong side of the offensive alignment formation-wise. Then I just have option defense on conservative, and I go ahead, I like match off, and I keep my zone drops on default, but if I do change them, a lot of times I'll have like hooks on 10 or 15, curl flats on 15 or 20, but mostly I leave them off, so that way I can just use shading up or down with some more flexibility. So on the play I'm going to call here is going to be the nickel over, cover 4 quarters, and I'm always going to flip it. Again, needs to be flipped, so you always have the blitz working. And I'll show you guys what happens if the offense happens to flip their formation. You'll see with the auto flip off and man alignment, it still works very, very well. So here is the base setup, guys. I'm going to show you a very easy blitz setup that still has really good pressure, good coverage, and run stopping ability. Before I do that, I do want to remind you guys I do free Madden 24 tip videos and gameplays on my channel on a daily basis. So if you like this content, subscribe, drop me a like, comment on the video for more daily videos just like this. And this is also a part of my full defensive scheme on sportsgamers.com. VIP members get access to everything, including my full nickel over scheme. This is my main play, but I have way more ways to run this for my VIP members on sportsgamers.com. Link is in the descriptions and also pinned in the comments. Coupon code Duke will get you 10% off your order if you want to dominate Madden 24 just like me. So the first thing I do when I break the huddle is easy. Show blitz. To show blitz, you're going to hit triangle or Y, depending upon your system, and then left on the analog stick. So it's going to bring your DBs and safeties up into the box. This is better for run defense, and it really shuts down those quick passing lanes. Next thing you want to do, shift your defensive line to the left. You're then going to blitz all of your linebackers down. To do that, you're going to hit right on the D-pad, then down on the right stick. You can see I'm always on this linebacker, by the way, on the right of the screen, standing over the right guard. For me, that's Ted Hendricks. That's where you want your best user. Okay? Next thing you're going to do, crash your defense line, slant them to the inside. To do that, you just hit left on the D-pad, down on the right stick. Technically, you could leave the defense alone at this point. You could just run it like this, but I tend to make more adjustments. One of the things I really like to do is QB contain. So I'll hit R1, or RB. This just helps against guys that want to roll out. And, that's about it. I mean, you could definitely change your coverage up. In a second here, guys, I'm going to show you how I like to adjust my coverage, but let's just run this with stock coverage maybe shading your... I do like to shade my coverage down so that purple turns into hard flat. I feel like the hard flat is way better than that purple zone. Now, in running this type of look right here, my responsibility user-wise is the middle of the field. But before we get into all the adjustments you can do coverage-wise and whatnot, let me just show you how this blitz works. It's very easy. You see, again, you just get that immediate A-gap pressure. You take away the first read, and they're sacked. So there are, one or two little weaknesses to this coverage. The main one, by default, if you leave it like this, is the left flat. Now, I'm covering that short middle of the field area, like right here. I'm taking away that quick read over the middle. And you guys can see, Derek Brooks is coming up the A-gap right away. I have the 4 deep zones, and I'm taking away the middle. With a tall user, you throw this, you're probably getting picked. You're getting sacked, right? So you can see there's really nothing you can do with me taking away the middle other than maybe attack the left flat. We can easily take that away, which is why I use the package. So let me show you guys now how to take away the left flat. So this is probably my favorite adjustment to this defense. It's really good. So what you're going to do is, again, you shift your defensive line to the left, you show blitz, right? Crash your defensive line down, you blitz your linebackers, you QB contain, and you just basically just stand right here with your user. You can shade your coverage underneath if you want. Now, here's where the adjustments come into play. That blitz setup I showed you is very easy. It takes like 1 or 2 seconds once you get it down. You just want to stay on Ted Hendricks, your user, and do everything with quick adjustments. But let's take away that left flat. So what I can do is I can put that corner on the outside into a cloud flat or a hard flat. It really depends upon if they're just snap throwing flats. I'd probably do a hard flat. They're just sort of attacking the flat but not snap throwing stuff. I could get away with a cloud. So let's do a cloud here. And then what I'm going to do, let's put the outside left corner in a cloud. Then I'm going to rotate that safety into either a deep half or an outside third. The outside third does a much better job of attacking the sideline. But remember, outside thirds are easy to get bombed this year. So if you're worried about the sideline, do an outside third to the left safety. If you're worried about the bomb, do a deep half to the left safety, all right? So then we're going to go ahead and put the safety on the right into a middle third, and that's going to just basically close the middle of the field off, right? So this is how these adjustments look. I know it looked a little funky there because that's a practice mode, like little visual bug. But this is how this coverage would work. This basically is very similar to a cover 3 cloud. You might be wondering, well, why don't you just pick the play cover 3 cloud? And that's because cover 3 cloud has alignment issues that are just really bad. Cover 4 quarters is the best aligned defense that you can make these adjustments from. Now, if you go ahead and see here, so now let's say that they're trying to attack the flat, like let's say they just send the running back out of the backfield, something like this, right? You'll see now, we're, able to take that away, and once again, we're getting that quick pressure to where, you're getting sacked immediately. If your flats aren't there, you are getting sacked. This is why this defense is so effective, is the pressure is just very, very, very quick and effective. And, a lot of people are used to dollar. If you try to block it like you would think to block dollar, it's not going to work. Now, there's a few more adjustments I want to go over, but first let me give you guys my abilities. I know everybody always asks that because the abilities are definitely important on this defense. So, first of all, for my 2 outside corners and my 2 safeties, let's go over them first. So, personally, for my 2 safeties, I have Troy P and this Reinfeldt guy, and they have deep zone KO, mid zone KO, and pick artist for a combined total of 1 AP. My slot corner is Harris. He has mid zone, flat zone, secure tackler. That's 0 AP. My outside corners are Sherman and Nambi Asama. They basically, they have all the zone KOs and pick artist, flat, mid, and deep zone and pick artist. And then on my line, I just have I've been using JJ Watt, but I just started using Furious George and Aaron Donald. Basically, Furious George, he gets Colossus. I just like the Colossus still. And then Irvin and Collins. So Irvin and Collins, they both get, lurk artist for 0 AP. Derek Brooks has lurk artist 0 AP too. But then he also gets secure tackler, which Bruce Irvin does. And mid zone KO for also 0 AP. So that's really nice, especially with the angry runs guys right now that they won't, basically miss tackles. The mid zone, if you drop them into zone, is nice too. Because with this defense, you will sometimes want to mix in dropping into zone instead of blitzing. And I still like Collins on my contain opposite the blitz. The reason why is a lot of people will try to roll out. And if you have a contain, does a decent job. If people know how to double team it, it's probably not going to do the best job, but it has edge threat. Collins has edge threat elite for 0 AP. What that means is that's also under pressure. So even though they can probably roll out if they know what they're doing, getting Collins with edge threat elite, he'll at least get close to the pass or the quarterback on the pass, and now often result in a bad throw because of the under pressure. So that's why I like that. Now let me show you guys what I mean. If they happen to flip their formation, you'll see, because I have man alignment on, the nickel corner travels. Now this is where the additional adjustment comes into play. When you have man alignment on, what happens when the nickel corner is on the left, when he travels, his zone goes to the middle of the field. You don't want that. So what you're going to need to do is basically re-playmaker your slot corner into a flat zone. So like if I want him in a hard flat, I'll just put him in the hard flat myself. And he is in a hard flat right now. It's just not showing. But yeah, there he's in a hard flat. And then I can set the same coverage up to where this time I would want the right flat covered because the nickel corner is on the left of the screen. That means the right flat is the weak spot. So again, I can put the flat zone to the corner, the safety in the third of the deep zone to the sideline, and then the opposite safety in the middle third so they don't have an easy seam pass. And then let me just show you this is how this coverage works. So it's basically the same thing, guys. It's the same coverage, just to the other side of the screen. And once again, the weak spot here is the middle of the field. So if they are going to attack the middle, that is what you're going to need to guard, especially I would say the short middle, because the seams are going to be cut off pretty well. But again, you kind of just hover here with your user at the snap, and then you can, get back, bam. So again, you can see pressure is really good. I mean, even if that, sometimes like with the running back going up the gap, see how it got a little jumbled up in the middle here, but still, we were able to get that quick pressure really, really fast. Again, I'll do it one more time. Show blitz, shift your D-line, blitz your D-line down, blitz your linebackers, contain, set up your coverage. And I mean, it's set up, man. It's a really easy blitz to set up. You also, if you want to make the A-gap a little faster, you can shift your linebacker to the right. Just make sure he lines up to the left hip of this D-tackle, so he goes up the left A-gap. Blitzing from the right A-gap this year is not good. You always want to blitz from the left A-gap. And, that is just so you can make sure you get the A-gap to work. If you go up the right A-gap, it's just not consistent. Again, screaming, sack. Let's get it, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button. Until next time, it's your boy Duke, and I'm out of here.